Hello Denzel, comment ça va? J'espère que tu vas très bien. We're happy again to meet for this midweek's lesson, and I must say, you've been tremendous, you've been amazing throughout the past couple of lessons. Of course, with your good performances, we should keep pulling day in, day out. So today we're going to switch materials a little bit, and of course, we're going to read a French story. Yes, we're going to be reading a French story, and in that story, we will be looking at important vocabulary phrases which you must learn in order to be able to talk about why you go to school. So that's the reason why we're taking this lesson, so that by the end of the lesson, you should be able to pick out some few sentences and some few words which will help you explain some things, some items which you can find at school, as well as to give us some reasons as to why you go to school. We know the main two reasons are that we go to learn and we go to work. So you're going to learn how to say we work and we learn in the process of the lesson. So this is the first step of the vocabulary words. And we're going to be very snappy in this particular online lesson right now, because on Saturday we're going to take it, of course, more deeply. So let's start by reading the French sentences which you'll be required to learn. So let's start from the first one. Please repeat after me. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Which means what? What do we do? Next. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait à l'école? Qu'est-ce qu'on fait à l'école? Which means what? What do we do at school? Those are the two main questions which you could ask yourself, or someone could ask you. The main two questions are, what do we do at school? And what do we do? So you should be able to repeat those sentences. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait? And qu'est-ce qu'on fait à l'école? Now let's look at the first reason as to why we go to school. The first is, on apprend. Can you please repeat? On apprend. And on apprend means what? We learn. That's the first and the most important reason as to why we go to school, to learn, and it is on apprend. The next, on travaille. On travaille. Very good. And what does on travaille mean? Simple. It means we work. So by now, you must be able to tell us already what are those two important reasons as to why you go to school. And of course, we need them in French. We have on apprend and on travaille. Good job. And while we proceed on to the rest of the lesson, you realize that we shall make use of one particular pronoun, which is the on pronoun, the on, which is pronounced on. And just so you know, on in English is sometimes referred to as you, one person. It sometimes refers to as we, two or more persons. And sometimes it means one, like someone, to mean unspecific. For example, someone comes to the house, takes meat from the fridge, and your mom asks you, who took meat from the fridge? You don't know exactly the person, but you know someone took it. So you say, on a pris la viande. It means someone took the meat. Okay, so let's go further by looking at some more vocabulary words this time around, which you're going to use in linking and making simple French sentences. Now, we have the vocabulary words to tell you some different items which you can find at school, including how to call the school itself in French. So let's go with the first one. L'école. And that's the school. La maison. The house. La queue. La queue. That's for the queue. The long line which people always stand to when they want to buy something, for example, at the supermarket and so many places. Next, la musique. Yes, and that is music. Le théâtre. That's for theater. Le sport. That's for sport. La natation. And that's for swimming. When we talk of swimming, we're talking of swimming classes, not the act of swimming. Because the act of swimming means la nage, like swimming. but this time around, la natation is like swimming lessons, swimming course, swimming classes. Next, la salle de classe. And that's what we call the schoolroom or the classroom. Next, les amis. I'm doing les amis with the liaison. So if you want to read it without the liaison, you say les amis, but it's much better to say les amis, which means what? The friends. Good. And those are the vocabulary words which we're going to be practicing on in the first part of that lesson, because after that, we'll now look at the verbs which can be used in linking together with those vocabulary words and obtaining precise sentences in French. You know, a simple sentence must comprise of a verb and different words, which can be vocabulary words and all that. So we're going to focus first in looking at these vocabulary words which we talked about right now. And to cement that lesson, we're going to have a video which we are also going to watch, where Maggie is going to tell us a little bit about her own school. So that'll be it for this midweek's lesson. We'll catch up on Saturday for the live lesson, and of course, we believe you're certainly going to enjoy it. So do have a good day ahead. J'espère bien sûr te revoir samedi prochain. Il est l'heure de se dire au revoir. À bientôt. Bye bye. See you on Saturday.